This is Nine Inch Nails, The Greater Good. And that's a perfect song title because Zeos has gotten, well, more space. And he's got a little board. It's like, oh, $1,000 monitors. So I went on Amazon. And I bought the cheapest 6.5-inch self-powered speakers I could find. Ta-da, the Rockvilles. The Rockville what, you ask? Hold on, they have a fucking model number. It's here. It's stupid. The APM6s. Slot port. 6.5, no hardware showing, tweeter, metal grill, no grills or covers for the front, self-powered on one side, this side is the slave, slot, XLR inputs, 1/4-inch inputs, RCA inputs, USB input, headphone output, which I wouldn't recommend using. It will output, which here's the key, which means that you could... Treble, bass adjustment, volume knob in the back, power switch in the back, no remote, no digital input. I have the JDS Labs EL DAC here, running off of fiber optic from my main home theater PC, which is there, which is this here. And so I will link a very, very small, cheap DAC that'll take fiber optic to RCA, because here's the thing. Literally, and as of the time of this recording, the black is no longer available, but the prettier wood grain one is. These are $160 a pair. $160 a pair for 6.5-inch powered monitors. That's just like fuck me money. No, I will not fuck you for $160, but you know, that's cheap is what I'm trying to say. And here's the thing, I got them going. How bad could they be? All right? Because I figured at $160, if they're terrible, I could say they're terrible. If they're mediocre, but these, they're not, look, they're not world ending. I don't recommend these over like a pair of Atom T5Vs or something in the $400 range that I absolutely, these will not go up on my wall. They'll be in a yard sale, but I'm proving myself a point that once you get something with the size like that, as long as they don't fuck up real bad and put a tweeter that's harsh or it just sounds crunchy or the amplification is poor, this is a good speaker. It's a good speaker. Not a great speaker, but holy shit for $160. Now, I do have the bass boost up. The bass and treble adjustments, unlike more expensive, more refined speakers, is +4, -4 here. And I don't believe it on the treble. If I boost the treble, and if I lower the treble, there is a slight change, maybe 2 decibels, maybe 2 decibels. But the bass boost, when you take away that 4, and take off 4 again, they get a little bit anemic. So I'm just for the shits, fuck it. Welcome, you know how I do Zeos Platinum? Where it's a Platinum edition. This is Zeos Dumpster Dives edition, where I buy the cheapest shit on Amazon just to see if it's actually any good. And holy fuck, yes. I'm gonna link $20 DAC, little $20 US, FIO makes a good one. There's other brands making that, but it's fiber optic in, RCA out. You hook that up TV to little baby DAC, RCA outs into this. Guess what? Soundbars can go fuck themselves. That's my whole channel really. The bottom line is, I just want people to not buy soundbars because they're stupid. Now, the only limitation of this is this cable's a bit short, but luckily it's a cable that I think you could buy an extension for 4-pole. The fact that this is 4-conductor means that it's probably running amplification for both channels for both drivers individually, which that's pretty fucking impressive. Here, let me show you the Amazon page and what is and isn't available, because it's kind of hilarious. Excuse me, ladies. Wallpaper available in the description. So, the 6-inch version in black is unavailable, but in this classic wood, which is basically, looks like gray back here, and then the fascia is like a fake wood grain, but that's nice looking. $153.71. Look at the customer reviews. 4.5 stars. Only 2 more in stock, but more on the way. So maybe the black ones will come back too. I'm going to give this video obviously to my patrons first, Because if someone's paying $5 a month and they're like, you know, I only have like $200 and my living room needs it, boom. So you can get them in white. Can you get them in white still? No. The white and black are unavailable. The beautiful classic wood is available. However, we got a 5-inch. For 9 cents more, you can get the wood ones for 9 cents more in 5-inch, which, why bother? I'm not an accountant. But if I was, I would advise you to get the larger ones, because they don't look much smaller. The box is the same shape. And then get this, there's a fucking 8-inch set. I'm going to link to this page, and you can just pick whatever you want. Whatever's available. There's an 8-inch set of 8. It's 8. I didn't even see the 8s when I found 8. Fucking 8. That's like that big, 8. $180. And you get it in the classic wood. I think the whites are still available here. Yeah, $182.92 for the white ones. And the black ones are unavailable. So that's just like, A, what the fuck is a Rockville? B, what the fuck am I doing here? It claims, I'll read you the specs, 350 watt. I mean, they get loud. I have the volume knob on this adjusted. We're at like, I'd say 42% of maximum. And that is as loud as I could take my foobar and this, where I think it's not going to break something. So there's power behind them too. Quad amp design. Each driver features variable frequency response amplifiers, injection molded polyurethane cone, blah, 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 blah. You read this shit. I'm not reading this shit for you. I don't have to read it anymore. We're here to look at waifus, play music, and have a goddamn party. By the way, Wham! Last Christmas, that's a party song. Yeah, these don't sound like shit. I was expecting them to sound broken or be built bad. Here's another thing. I was expecting to touch them and then have every crease and crack. They're not, like this one's not that heavy but it's a speaker. It's legitimately a speaker. It's a big old speaker, but a slot port is nice. That's actually more expensive to do than just a hole with a plug. So that's nice. A lot less noise chuffing out of that. I like the fact that the tweeter is a covered metal dome, which doesn't seem to affect it that much. It's got this little, it's my dirt, not its dirt. It's got this little waveguide on it, just enough of a waveguide to make it happen. The driver is plain Jane, but it hides the hardware. The Rockville logo's there. It's built. It's got rounded edges. I don't have any complaints about the build quality. It's a little bit like. But, you know, this is zeosdumpsterdives.com/dumpster. Don't forget to enter the promo code ZeosDumpster on your checkout. That isn't a real thing. You won't save any money. The fact that I can get a pair of speakers, 6-inch or 8-inch, for under $200 that have an XLR input. It's expecting a balanced fucking input. The fact that it's got a USB DAC built in, which... honestly, I didn't test, but I'm sure it's not going to be fantastic. I'm sure what I'm doing here with the goddamn EL DAC into it, with like custom-made RCAs, is gonna sound better than what the internal USB is, but I don't think that's the point of these speakers. The point of these speakers is they cheap as fuck. And they produce sound. And they produce loud sound with good low end. And that's really what most people just care about if your budget is nothing. When your budget is nothing, not everything can be an RB42, linked in the description as well. These are going to sell more than anything ever. But those aren't self-powered. Those are still $130 for the pair, and you have to then get an amplifier, and they're not that easy to drive. And this is just hit the button and shit your pants. That's... This is Epic Score Mutilated C. I have no like complaints about it either. Usually I always find that I assume everything is a perfect 100 and then just get disappointed and disappointed and disappointed, and that's when my reviews come out. Or I have an expectation and something fucking exceeds it, And I'm like, what? And then I come on and I'm like shaking on my reviews. Like, I need to drink that bottle of Mount Gay. It's not bad. I don't need that later. But these, I got them, and their build quality impressed me, their volume impressed me, their low end capabilities impressed me. They actually did better than I expected for $160. It's a big ass box. Just the shipping on these when I put them in the yard sale is gonna probably cost 30% of what the fucking speakers cost. And that's impressive. They did a good job of tuning the tweeter down. The tweeter doesn't hurt you. There's imaging here. Let's pull up a table. Let's pull up a thing and we'll have a seat. This is from the Man from U.N.C.L.E. OST, and this is Peppino Gagliardi. I'm Italian. I should be able to say these names real easy. Peppino Gagliardi. This is Che Voglie Questa Musica Sonnet. I don't know. It's track goddamn 14 from the Man from U.N.C.L.E. Maybe the treble isn't as resolving as like Adams or those micas or, you know, edifiers or swans. But the low end and the imaging aren't terrible. The low end is solidly low end. And then the imaging comes in and it's just like, oh, yeah, that works. So I guess what I'm saying is these are an acceptable speaker. If you saw them on Amazon, if you're looking for the cheapest possible solution, yes. I would like to try the 8-inch now. Maybe those will be just like incredibly more. They're so cheap. They're so fucking cheap. I will, however, wait until this review has gone to patrons. Patrons all buy them because my patronage people know a deal when they see it. And no one ever heard of these Rockvilles, and now everyone's going to hear these Rockvilles, and as soon as the review hits public, they're gone. And I'll know a month or two down the road if these are still available, if they come back in stock. Probably pick up the 8-inch just to see what those do. They're $20 more. I spent $20 on Chinese food to go for an 8-inch version of these. And these have amazing fucking treble and bass and I have had them go clip and then like mute for a second and come back on when I'm really testing their abilities. So I think the amplification, even though it says 350, I'm just sort of like this. So I think it's probably more like 150 and not 350. But either way, that happened once, maybe twice. And that was when I'm being stupid. These are a buy. I just need a pair of speakers, Zeos. I don't have a big budget and I don't have a DAC. You plug in the USB to these from your computer and you're done. Will they sound better with a $300? I have a DAC that's worth twice as much as they are powering them. Well, almost twice. Yes, I think that'll make a difference. That's Mob Psycho, track 39. Jesus. From the first disc. How is that even a thing? I guess they're all woman songs. I don't have anything to say like, oh man, these speakers, they're terrible. Don't buy these. They're too black. That won't happen. Because A, number one, you can't buy the black ones. You have to buy the wood face ones. And B, they do exactly what I was hoping they do, which is perform like a 6.5-inch. So, I mean, I'm not going to make this video crazy long. I got these dailies coming out. I don't want to take up all your time for a $158 pair of speakers, but maybe you should think about it for $158. Maybe that's the key. Maybe the key is spend less but make it bigger. Because I've had some cheapo, I'm not going to point fingers yet, but let's just say those Fluence AI60s, they're almost on my shit list. And these are not. So Maybe no one heard of Rockville, but everyone's heard of Thrillz, and maybe they're doing it better than they are right now. So that's the end of my review. Sound demo in the description. This wallpaper, I like it. It's classy. It suits and tits. It's perfect. That's in the description. This Patreon that I'm talking about. What's a Patreon, Zeos? Well, you go there to support the channel so I can buy things like this, and you go there if you're a $5 tier or higher. When I'm done with something, like these Rockvilles, I don't have an actual purpose for them. I've got a wall of speakers. They will be in a yard sale from the 1st to the 10th. Lots of things will be in the yard sale. And if you're a $5 patron, you get to see the post, you get to click the link, you get to actually bid on these. I will send them for free in the continental United States. I eat the shipping. So I only paid $160 for them. And whatever the shipping costs, that's fine. If you pay $108.12, you got a pair of speakers for $108.12. If you're international, if for some reason you're in Bangladesh and you want this pair of speakers, the specific one, you can bid anything you want, and I will pay half the shipping. Which, by the way, please don't bid if you're in Bangladesh, because I'm pretty sure the shipping costs total for the weight of the box will be more than I paid for the whole product. And yeah, fuck it, just bid if you want. I don't care. All Bangladeshi people are invited to bid on these speakers. You also get to see these reviews early, which is why if this video is now live on the internet, if you saw it and you're not a patron, you missed it by like a week plus, because patrons get everything first, and if they're all gone and they never come back, well, all the patrons bought them. So if you want to see these videos early, that's the thing. And the last reason to join the Patreon, you get to ask me any questions you want. Now, I will answer questions of like the latest videos in the comments of that on Patreon. Patreon messages I always go through. But if you really want to talk to me, if you've got a lot of questions, a lot of things, the $10 tier gets you into a private Telegram chat, which is on my phone currently, and there was 7 messages this morning, and people are wondering like, hey, I have the TIN T2s and the TIN T3s, but I really like these, you know, final audio things. Which one best batches that? And I will tell you, I've not heard the final, so I don't know. I mean, I only know what I know. I don't know everything. But you want to message me directly, that's how you do it. So yeah, these speakers, just... Oh, and don't forget the RMAF GoFundMe. I probably wouldn't bring these to RMAF, although these are a great example. Maybe the 8s. Maybe if these stick around and they're online and the 8s still exist, maybe I'll just bring the 8-inch Rockvilles and put them in a fucking room in Rocky Mountain Audio Fest and just be like, yeah, no, these cost less than like 1 foot on most, you know, expensive amplifiers and speakers. 1 like little rubber foot. So yeah, links to these if they're available, links to that wallpaper, links to the Patreon, links to antipsychotic drugs, you know, things like that. Anyway, I'll see you tomorrow. To the sound demo's in the description. Check it out. It does a decent enough job. I didn't do that cool thing I did with the swans, but whatever. And then tomorrow the sound demo comes out, then another review the day after that. So